Embrace that darkness. Own it. Don't look away from it. Don't bury it in booze or in pills.
That is, you got to say, you know what? My body isn't there. I'm going to go work out. My relationship isn't there. I'm going to change it.
We are bigger than our biggest problem. We are more resilient than any virus. We can outlast any threat. We are more courageous than any enemy that we have ever and will ever face.
Push harder than you've ever pushed in your life. It is time for you to work as hard as you can. I want you to take a look in the mirror. The image in the mirror, that is not who you are. You are greater than the image in the mirror. You walk, you push. You do whatever it takes. You keep working hard. You dig deep. You find a way. You make a way. This is your time. Don't wait for somebody else to give you something. Earn it. You work for it. And from the bottom of my heart, conduct your business. Life, how beautiful it is. How amazing it is to be able to rise up in the morning and have that sunshine on your face rather than on your grave.
It's okay. It's okay to feel that darkness. And it's okay to remember it and miss it and hate it and love it. And it's okay to wish it never happened. And at the same time to wish it never stopped. And it's okay to want to take it all back. And at the same time, to want to do it all again. And if you've got in your mind that you think that people don't understand,
you know, I'm not making what I got to make. I'm going to retool. I'm going to get a new skill. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to do something. You have to do something to change your life. Or, in order for you to be happy, if you can't change your life, you're going to have to change your blueprint. Usually in life, it requires a little bit of each. Does that make sense? And if you change your life and change your blueprint, you can have an extraordinary life. And what you witnessed this man do was, once he let go of his anger and his denial, once he started to look at things, he began to find, by spending time with his family, that he was worthwhile being loved whether he played basketball or not. Of course, professional basketball was no longer a part of it. And we got to get Joaquin to shift that. And Joaquin is a metaphor for all of us, because all of us are going to have times in our life when what we want or think life should be like isn't going to match how life really is.
That's okay. They don't. But you do. You know darkness. You know evil. But more important than that, you know good. You know light. You know laughter and love better than anyone.
Those moments, if we blame, our life goes into pain. If we change, we can change our life and match our blueprint. But we have to also know when it's not within our control. And that's how we're able to make a shift and change what our story is for our life, what our expectations are, not by lowering them, but by changing what that model really is. Hoping this makes sense to you. I'll give you a great example. Years ago, I do a lot of work with business people, celebrities, people of all kinds of walks of life. And I was dealing with a group of people, and they knew a very, very powerful celebrity. And to give that person privacy, I won't tell you too many details, so you can't figure out exactly who it is, but it would be a person who was very successful as a woman, who was extremely attractive by cultural standards, a woman who's had a lot of dear friends, a lot of deep respect. So great skill, great ability, extremely talented, quite attractive, quite wealthy in financial terms, and lots of great friends.
They're going to ask you why, but it's not up to them to make the decisions for you. Your success depends on you. How hungry are you? How driven are you? Do you go a full day without a meal? Are you the type of person that likes only to eat once a day? Now, how do you survive off of one meal a day? But you may be thinking, well, people do it all the time, but we're not talking about food. Nourishment, we're talking about what's inside, what really you're looking for, what exactly that you want out of your life, a different type of hunger, a hunger for success, a hunger to follow your dreams and to get exactly it is what you're seeking in life, standing out here in this desert.
We are better together. We are stronger together. We are more of what we are actually able to be together. And we will outlast We will come out of this better than we started, but we will not come out of this better just by doing nothing. We must raise the bar. We have to raise the game. Raise your will, raise your energy, raise your standards, raise your commitment to the things that you want to create. Raise your commitment to your life. Raise your kindness. Raise your patience. Raise your willingness to be a part of the solution. Raise your courage. Raise your compassion. Raise your drive. Look at what you're doing every single day. What habits are you holding on to?
And the strategy was just e-commerce, right? I mean,
in the beginning.
Right now, the monthly auto ship is really hot just because brands like Dollar Shave Club have done that really well.
Right.
What was it at the beginning with Quest? What was the actual strategy of getting eyeballs into customers enough to be able to prove the model?
For us, it was to be online. That's all we cared about. Wanted to market socially, wanted to build a community, wanted like basically every gym rat, every trainer in the world to be talking about our product. And then when they came to touch the company, to find that there was this really warm ecosystem of people that wanted to celebrate your victories. We wanted to know if you'd lost weight or added muscle or gained weight, which we were huge, still are huge in the anorexic community, which was totally new for us and literally was like, whoa, what's happening? But ended up being just this really beautiful relationship between people who are struggling in a direction that we hadn't really thought about. So that was really neat. So it really was going back to build a community.
How hungry are you? How deep is your determination? How driven are you? These are the questions that you must ask yourself. But do you have the answers to it? Do you understand what it takes to be hungry? Now, if you're the type of person that's waiting for someone to serve you up a plate of success, then you're going to be waiting a long time because no one is waiting for you to make up your mind. Being hungry and staying driven is what it's going to take you to the next level, to elevate you in areas that you've never been. Being hungry and driven is important. It's more important than sleep. It's more important than excuses. There are going to be a lot of people. They're going to question you.
What things do you keep on doing that you know that you shouldn't? What new habits do you want to build that you know will make you a better version of yourself? What habits do you want to get rid of? What new decisions do you need to make? And what decisions do you need to leave behind? How are you going to come out of this better than when you started? Wake up early, put time and energy and effort into the things that matter. Give time to the people that matter. Put in real effort. Do more than you think you should. Do more than what is asked of you. Go the extra mile. Push yourself beyond what you thought that you were capable of. Add more value to every situation, in school, in your relationships, and in your life. But even just setting goals is not enough. Writing down your goals, writing down what you want is not enough. Why? Because we do not take actions based on the goals that are written down.
Build a community, make the product available, and then we said no to major retailers for over a year. At one point, we actually hired somebody to say no more artfully, because we were, and it's funny, but it was like we were starting to damage relationships where they were like, hey, at some point I asked so many times I stopped asking. And so you have to be really careful about where people will then do things to spite you. And there are still some regions of some very, very famous stores regionally that won't carry us because of those days when we kept saying no.
Huh. Well, who are the hires that you found to be the most advantageous during that time of scaling up the online presence? Do you remember what metrics were being measured and who was managing those and who you brought in to really develop the online presence?
Yeah, we had two really critical hires. Our chief marketing officer, who was just young enough that he really understood social in a way, like now I get social, I did not get it at all. Like when
You're going to starve, and when there's weakness, something else is going to come along and eat you up. Let's talk about excuses, why they're so important to so many people. Why do people tend to hold on to these things? We talk about excuses all the time. You know why? Because excuses seem to be the narrative in most people's life. Which one are you? Are you going to set aside the excuses? Are you going to serve up that plate of opportunity? Are you truly going to eat the right way? Instead of starving yourself feeding off excuses. Hungry, yes, stay hungry every day. You should never be satisfied.